Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and somebody tweeted this at me on Twitter, which I assume I'm not the original point of this, otherwise, oh my god, is what's going to be on my case. But somebody named Jesus Corral sent me this. Muchas gracias a Jesus. It may be real, it may not be. There's a couple different, pieces of evidence, I guess you would say. Not really evidence, but, overall, I think it checks out. I'm not going to go full-blown CSI on this, start doing pixel measurements and font comparisons and crap. Like, I could, but they would take, like, an hour plus, and I just don't care enough to do it. Plus, somebody else is probably going to. Oh, and then if I come to the wrong conclusion, I'll never hear the end of it. Overall, I think this is fake, but it's like a 55-45 split. Like, I am so undecided about this. I'm just very slightly leaning towards this being fake. I would not be the least bit surprised if this turns out to be a real card, though. So this appears to be a promotional poster that would go out in the middle of spoiler season and go up on the walls at an LGS in a Portuguese location like Brazil. Oh, lo siento, Brazil. Whatever, I only speak Spanish anyway, so let's use my amazing powers of Spanish-tude and try to scar this card. Okay, I think Hora de Devastation. How do you do this? Is the C like SH or I don't frickin' god damn it, I hate Portuguese. Anyway, it clearly says Hour of Devastation. Would that be what they put on the promotional poster? Yes. Is it going to be one of the first cards leaked? Probably, if it exists. It's a rare, okay, that makes sense. So, I think Fighticio or whatever the hell that says, I think that means sorcery. I think I've just seen that translated before, whatever. It's really hard to type that into Google with the C and the little fishing hook on the bottom. But, I believe that says, all the creatures lose indestructible, I guess in context that would mean until the end of turn, destroy all the creatures. Now, as far as the flavor text, I'm not really sure. I think Nenhum means nobody, and then the middle is and then I don't know about Digno. Maybe it means like nobody and nothing. That'd be kind of cool. And then Nicol Bolas, Pharaoh Deus, which obviously is God Pharaoh. So you really don't have to learn Portuguese. You can just kind of passively speak Spanish and just kind of go with it. Probably the same for Italian. So here's the wild part. Okay, so all creatures lose indestructible, and then you blow them up. Board wipe, 4 costs. So Wrath of God is white, generic, and does the same thing except it says destroy all creatures, they cannot be regenerated. And then Damnation is like the exact same card as this except worse, which, I mean, that's concerning. So Damnation is same exact thing as Wrath of God. It's destroy all creatures that cannot be regenerated. Well, I mean, what the hell regenerates? Like, who even uses regenerate, even in, like, modern and stuff? I mean, I'm sure there's a couple, but nothing springs to mind as, oh, yeah, that super popular card. I mean, I don't see it. So, Damnation's about 18 to 20 bucks right now. So, wow. This is very much a better version of it. I mean, it's pretty narrow. Would people actually, gut their modern deck, take out all Damnations and put this in? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I would say probably absolutely yes based on one thing and one thing only. And if your knowledge of modern is out of date, you're going to disagree with me, but trust me. The card Selfless Spirit is becoming huge in modern. Now, depending upon where you look and what website you go to, you'll say, oh no, that's not true. Just trust me. It's true. 2 damage in the air for 2 mana, and you can sack it and make all your creatures indestructible? Yeah. The Selfless Spirit is at least in people's sideboards. I know white isn't the absolute most popular color in Modern, but, if you're playing white, you pretty much play that card. So this will wipe the board even with a Selfless Spirit on the field, and that by itself is enough to drive this up to like a $25, $30 card. Now, is it too powerful for Standard? Absolutely not. I mean, you could have a board wipe that costs 2 mana, and it would still be fair because it blows your stuff up too. Even a Flicker effect will not save them because you flicker, they come back, and then they get blown up. So, what's the point? I mean, you're not targeting them. It just is what it is. Oh, and you also can't save your own creatures with Selfless Spirit in Standard. So, I mean, okay, they got out 7 creatures, you got out 1, and then you cast this, and then you maybe throw down a dirt cheap creature. Now you're technically winning. Okay, but I mean, that's pretty much how most board wipes go. But there are a lot of death triggers right now, so you might be able to get something going there. At least there's not persistent undying, oh my god, or, well, regenerate. There's a couple regenerators I think in standard, but nothing real significant. You do have like Scrap Heap and, I can't really say Eternal. There's a couple, like Relentless Dead. I mean, so you could do some annoying crap with this, but I just don't think it's overpowered. So would they print a card more powerful than Damnation after just printing Damnation? Oh, hell yes. I mean, hello, are you familiar with Wizards? Yes, they would. So now, you know, like I said, I think I mentioned this, I'm not going to go all frickin' CSI on this thing and start measuring pixels and all that. I just don't give a crap. But 184, I believe, is correct on the bottom. It says R for rare. HOU is correct. I mean, I don't know why the hell it's not HOD. But this is coming right off of them missing ANK, which should have been what Amonkhet was, because that spells Ankh, and that would be funny because it's Egyptian. Yeah, no, they went with AKH, which spells Ech. That's so much better, Wizards. So, Hour of Devastation, what should be the acronym? HOU, yeah. Yep. Maybe if the set was just called Hours, and that's it. Anyway, mini rant over. I don't know, like the copyright date looks right, everything looks right. The one thing that I'm still too lazy to look up is, has that artwork been used somewhere else? And I think that picture of Nicol Bolas might have been on the existing promotional posters for Hour of Devastation. I'm not sure. And that's the thing about fake cards. You either have to draw something really convincing yourself, and your art would have to be on par with something they would actually buy and put on a card, or you're just going to rip off some artwork that's, you know, been used in the past, like some former picture of, what's his face, Nicol Bolas. That looks, you know, like it's all drawn, all the color and the luminosity and everything. It looks like one piece. It's just, have I seen it before? And I have no idea. So if somebody knows, if you can identify this, like, yes, that was on that thing that they released, let me know. Otherwise, I mean, you really think somebody drew that just to, you know, fake a card and play a joke on anybody? Hell no. But if somebody's like, no, that was on, you know, whatever, the thing they just released, well, there you go. Now, the fonts look right to me, but I'm not going to sit there and, like, see what a capital H and the hook on an R looks like and all that crap. I mean, whatever. You can do that all you want. I'm sure somebody's already done it, so why would I waste my time? Overall, I mean, it looks pretty right. I think maybe the top to bottom alignment and overall size of the icon on the right side isn't quite right, but it is a really tall set icon, and we have absolutely nothing to compare it to, so who knows? The left to right doesn't look right on it either, but I don't know, that could just be my eyes. The overall width and rendering style of the letters look correct. As far as this image as a whole, it appears to have been encoded in RGB. If this was intended to be printed as a poster, it absolutely, without a doubt, would have been sent in CMYK, but it also looks heavily compressed, which means that it was probably re-encoded by like Twitter or somebody. It was like recropped or whatever. I mean, you do just about anything to it, it'll convert it to RGB, I should say. So, I don't know, I don't have any strong evidence that says, yes, this is a fake because this by itself, but the strongest one is just the background of the card and the outside of the card frame. I could have sworn that exact, like, weird rocky texture was used in, like, Journey to Nyx or Born of the Gods or something. I don't know, it looks awfully familiar, and I think if you type in, like, MTG card blank, you can find the exact same one. Once again, way too lazy to check on it myself. I'd rather speculate on, like, the value of the card and whether it seems real than, you know, debunk it with, like, forensics or whatever. That's how I normally do things, but I just don't have the time or give a crap. So now the one last thing I've got to say is, would they print a $30 card that everybody wants for Modern in Hour of Devastation? Oh, hell yes. I mean, Eldritch Moon had some serious power, some serious value. Aether Revolt was a disastrously stupid mistake as far as power level. They've realized that the second set in a block doesn't sell very well, and they refuse to not make it smaller. It's like almost always 184 cards. Well, guess what? If I'm a single seller and I'm going to open 1,000 boxes, that means I have a lot more copies of every individual card, but the demand remains the same because the players are the same. So the set doesn't sell as well, so the smart single sellers and LGSs will actually order like 20 to 30% less of the second set. So right off the bat, Wizards doesn't make as much money, and according to the distributor, they know to order less and Wizards knows to print less. So if they want to make more money, they just push the power level to the moon in the second set, and then everybody wants it. So a Damnation replacement? Yeah, they would absolutely do that. Now, keeping it out of the mythic spot, I don't know about that, because this is actually pretty darn good and limited in draft, I would say. At least potentially. I mean, it'll get you out of some situations if you're losing the game, and you can't really set up like a whole, volleyball level set and spike and just murder your opponent. But I mean, if you're gonna lose the game, you might as well roll the dice and see who can come back quicker from a symmetrical board wipe. So, what do you guys think? Is this real? And if it is, what do you think of it? I'm kind of excited because I've looked at board wipes as the great equalizer. You can, if you knew the game's getting out of control, the quicker you can board wipe, the better. And getting to 5 mana is just way the hell harder than getting to 4. It's like the Grand Canyon between 4 and 5. So the sooner I can, make you retroactively waste all your cards by blowing up your whole board state, the better. And like I said, Embalm plays around it. A lot of zombies play around it. Any kind of graveyard casting crap plays around it. So, it's not like the end-all card. I think it's appropriately powered if it's right, if it's actually true. Still not going to up my order, though. It's just not going to happen. I could see the whole damn list of spoilers. I'm not going to up my order. I'm just not. I've been burned by Wizards too many times on standard products. They'll have to release about 5 good ones in a row, and then I'll resume my normal $5,000 orders. Until then, my order stands at below $1,000 on HOD. I'm going to keep calling it HOD. It's HOU. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say HOD just as a general acronym, not intending to be used as the actual set symbol. Or not set symbol, set 3-letter code? Or I forgot what they even call the damn thing. So anyway, just in case, I would sell every copy of Damnation that you own. And that's the thing. If this was professionally manufactured, which it would have to be, it would absolutely have to be like a professional grade fake to look this right. People are maybe trying to convince the market to just flood all their Damnations. Maybe it'll hit like $8 instead of $20. Then some genius is going to buy them all up at $8. It turns out this card is fake. And then they go back to selling Damnations for double that. It's the old, pump and dump scare, tactic thing that the Bitcoin system has seen time after time after time. Somebody would, DDoS the major exchange. People would be like, oh my god, MTGOX got shut down, or whatever the other one was. I feel like I should know. I used whatever the other one was. Anyway, yeah, and then people would be like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm going to sell everything on the other exchange. Oh my god, I feel so much safer holding US dollars. And then it's just a bunch of idiots DDoSing it for 48 hours, and then they stop, and then during the time they bought up all the Bitcoins for cheap, and then they wait for the price to go back up, and then they make 20%. If you think people wouldn't do this on a large scale, then you don't know the Magic community very well. All the single sellers, all the major corporations that have vested interest in it, are pretty much universally crooked as hell. I'd name some names, but then I'd have to, back it up with evidence. I don't feel like going that direction with this video. But trust me, they're out there. So still, I would say, that said, just have that in the back of your mind, I would sell every copy of Damnation that I own right now. If I owned any, I already did. And I don't mean yesterday, I mean I sold them a month ago. So now we're going to get into why this leaked, but first, the Commander 2017 Dragons 5-color deck that just leaked? Turns out it actually, from what I heard, was a legit leak. It was not spoilers, that are disguised by their stupid third-party marketing douchebag company that they always hire. By the way, they themselves leaked that's how they leaked their cards. Yeah, leaks about leaks. Good job, Wizards. They revealed that a lot of their marketing and crap goes through a third party, and they think they're so damn clever pretending to be a member of the community and send out spoilers to every magazine and YouTuber and blogger and anybody vaguely famous. Unless you're on their block list, then you don't get crap from them. Not that I would participate in there, not saying I'm on the list, but I am on the list. I don't want to participate in giving them free frickin' marketing and promotion of their new set from every channel available, and they aren't paying me a damn thing. No thanks. And I'm not the type that's oh, if you want me to promote anything, you better get your wallet out. I'm not like that at all. Just look at my Patreon. I'll well, I suppose that one is kind of involving money, but I mean, if I had $1 for every time on Twitter in a video I told you guys to go check out a channel just because I thought it was cool, I'd have $11 at least. I mean, today I found out, Monkey Boo, the Boo review, other things that probably have the word boo in them. starting to wonder if that's actually why it was recommended to me on YouTube, because their AI is kind of dumb like that. But yeah, I just don't participate in that stupid fake manufactured nonsense and the hype train. It's just stupid. I don't agree with the way they market their new sets at all. So that said, they have to send these out like early. So not only are they sending physical cards to people who would show them on camera, like YouTubers, and I'm sure they get them like 2 weeks ahead of time just for safety because, you know, duh. Probably just write a note that says, here's a card, don't show it to anyone or we'll sue you. Sign this NDA first, by the way, and then show this on exactly, you know, July 2nd or whatever. Well, guess what? First of all, if you got this in the mail, you'd immediately sell every copy of Damnation you own and then tell your friends to do the same. And just the word would get around, hey, sell Damnation, not going to tell you why, you know, put 2 and 2 together, duh, better version of it. And, you know, who the hell wouldn't do that? I mean, duh. I'd do that. I mean, that's not even too shady for me. That's just making a smart financial decision based on evidence and information I have. I mean, it's like insider trading, except it's not illegal because MTG isn't a commodity. Oh, it's also not like backing securities and what, I don't even know those laws. So it's even worse for foreign companies because if you want to send them a physical item, you got to make sure that it doesn't get hung up in customs, which you can't really, I mean, I kind of phrased that wrong. You can't stop it from getting hung up in customs or getting delayed or missing a shipment or an airplane or whatever. So very unreliable, very long range of time that it would take to get to the country. So because of that, Wizards send stuff early as hell. So the majority of the time, any kind of promotional posters, items, whatever, will get there really early. Now, the other thing is in America, you can run stuff off really quickly. In some crappier countries, you can't. And I mean as far as printing. So if this was the Portuguese promotional poster that will go up in early July when spoilers start in local gaming stores, they probably have to get it to the printing company like 3 weeks ahead of time. And even that's really cutting it close for like printing it, checking it, boxing it up, and then mailing it out. I mean, they'd have to have it probably a month plus ahead of time. So, oh, look, this came straight from a, you know, graphics designer, whatever, you know, print press operator at some Portuguese company's desk computer. Like, that seems totally reasonable to me, and there's not much they can do about that. I mean, just think about, like, the Switch and how that got leaked and images of it got leaked. It was like, oh, Walmart or Myers or Tesco or whatever, depending upon what country you're in and state. One of them were like, hey, we want to promote the Switch, and we do our coupon books and promotional in-store ads and, you know, Sunday newspaper ads. We finalize them 2 weeks ahead of time, and then we lay them out 2 weeks ahead of time before that. So we need pictures of the Switch and pricing 4 weeks ahead of time, which is like earlier than they were supposed to. And honestly, it's probably like 8 weeks. You know, nobody cuts it that tight when it's their own materials and they don't want to like miss a week or something. So then Nintendo's like, okay, but everybody signed an NDA. And then, you know, well, honestly, they probably didn't even bother. They were just like, hey, this isn't public information. No big surprise there. Just tell your employees to not leak anything about any price or any product picture at all, ever. And then somebody thinks it's real funny to leak a picture of it onto the internet. So that's usually how things get leaked, and it's not really that different in the Magic world. It's just whether it's a digital copy for print purposes or it's the physical card itself or the physical product. Not only could somebody just walk off with it when it's being printed at the, you know, printing facility in like Belgium, which, I mean, as if they have a whole lot of control over there. Not to mention, it's really hard to sue somebody in another country, so, you know, there's that. Seriously, Wizards, get them printed in America. Like, what the hell are you thinking? What is the benefit to having, like, hundreds of tons of product printed in Belgium and then shipped somewhere? That cannot possibly be cheaper. Oh, and evidently it's not more secure, because, I mean, there was that one booster pack that kind of walked away that one time. But yeah, Wizards needs to start taking card security very seriously and stop blaming the community as a whole and shaming everybody and not taking any personal responsibility. But that said, I mean, how are they going to stop it? If people need these materials ahead of time, they pretty much have to give them to them, or they will miss out on being included in some magazine or some print ad or some poster or whatever. And there's no sense in printing this that says, hey, go to the pre-release, it's July 8th and 9th, and then putting the poster up on July 10th. I mean, they could only be printed and mailed so quickly. I mean, it just is what it is. So if this is a legit leak, there's not much they can do about it other than put trackers in it. That is the Hollywood solution. They've been doing this forever. Each individual copy has like one pixel that's a little bit off, or, you know, one like super light thing, or like one part is inverted, or just something you would never ever catch unless you knew to look for it, but it does uniquely identify it. So even if it were printed, not even just distributed in digital form, even if it was printed and then a cell phone picture taken of it, if it was high res enough, you'd be like, yep, that one has that. Like the black border on the card has a very slight 5% gray gradient from top to bottom and nobody caught it. And so you just make something unique about every country, every place, everywhere you sent it, something that will uniquely identify them. And then when it gets leaked, boom, laser beam focus on that company, threaten them with all kinds of legal action and make a whole damn media circus about it to have a chilling effect on the rest of the industry. That is how you handle things, Wizards. That's how a professional company does things. If they actually care about leaks and they actually take their IP security seriously, that's what you do. Either that or you're going to keep getting these leaked every time. And honestly, nobody believes that 100% of these like cell phone picture leaks are actually real. I would assume at least half of them, if not more, are just manufactured by their stupid, very immoral, very like, you know, bottom of the barrel, who cares, just get it done, ends justify the mean kind of marketing company that they apparently hired. And for all we know, some of the leaks could have came directly from them. So yeah, it's all just a mess. I mean, that's why there's leaks for basically everything all the time. They're either fake manufactured ones or they're legit because everybody has copies of everything. So whatever, hopefully we don't see too many cards ahead of time, but then again, the more I see before I have to put in my order, the better. So they could leak the whole damn set tomorrow and I'd be just happy as a clam. Having to put in my order without knowing a single one of the cards, yeah, not fun, Wizards. Some days I think that's the only thing keeping them in business. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you think of this card. Is there anything that just stands out as fake? Was it already debunked? Or, you know, whether it is legit or not, let's just assume it is. What do you think of it? So leave your comment down in the comment section and I will see you guys next video.